So a new slew of emojis are coming. Oh my God, now there's a salute, a melting face, a troll, and some bubbles. So you might be thinking like, what will the bubbles be used for? Okay, it turns out that if you put the peach emoji alongside the bubbles, you get, come on, think about it, right? Someone who's making stinkies. Yes, now you can actually put that in your text messages. Isn't the internet more than you ever could imagine? I mean, think about this. Even babies are hopping online. They Google Gaga. Yes, get it? You see, this is an example of all the fun that we have here week after week as we talk about living the best digital life ever. It's America's most trusted show about, well, as I mentioned, everything digital, about making money, saving money, all the gadgets and gizmos, what's left of your privacy and security. It's called the Kim Komando Show because, after all, I'm America's beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando, here with you once again. And you can find our show on over 420 top stations from coast to coast, and we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can find us streaming anytime you want, as a podcast or as a webcast. You get all 3 hours over at getkim.com. And also, we salute our friends and servicemen and women on the American Forces Network Radio, serving more than 375,000 in 175 countries and 200 ships at sea. Get the Kim Komando Show. And I'm sure you have at least, I don't know, a few questions about something digital that I can lend a hand to. And I know you can Google just about anything. But if you want advice that you know is real, that's why I'm here. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. All right, let's start this hour with 5 things that you need to know about tech. And it's happening right now. And oh my gosh, another scandal with, yes, Facebook, brought to light by a new report in the Wall Street Journal. This one's about an internal Facebook program that's called Crosscheck. Check it out. The program exempts public figures and high-profile users, like politicians, celebrities, athletes, from typical moderation of their posts that, well, the other billions of Facebook users are subject to. Now, if one of these VIPs posts something that violates Facebook's rules, there's probably a pretty good chance it's not going to be removed because they say of what PR fires. That's the risk they say. As of 2020, nearly 6 million Facebook users were in this cross-check program, and so many VIPs that, according to one document, that only about 10% of anything they post actually gets reviewed. Now, the reason why this is a big deal is because Facebook said before so many times, oh no, the rules apply to like whether it's somebody in Peoria, Illinois, or if somebody's the president. Everybody has the same rules on Facebook. Not so much. And then in another report, the Wall Street Journal focused on an algorithm change in 2018 that meant to boost social interaction and engagement. And in doing that, it actually turned Facebook into an angrier place. But they were like, what's the big deal? I mean, misinformation, why do we care about that? Polarizing posts, you know, if it pays the bills, it pays the bills. Meanwhile, wait, there's more. The Wall Street Journal, boy, it just seems like this past week they were just getting started. They have another report about Instagram. The documents from their very own studies conducted over the past 3 years or so. They looked at how Instagram affects the young folks. Now, it's not a pretty picture. If you've got teenage girls on Instagram, listen to this. They found that 32% of teenage girls said that when they went on Instagram, they felt bad about their bodies, and then Instagram made them feel even worse. They have this Explore page and curates posts and all these different accounts made up of only the best photos, the best products. So, of course, all these young women are looking at themselves going, wow, I don't look like that. I must be ugly. So all of this comes as Facebook is in the process of creating an Instagram app for kids. Gosh, like, wow, under the age of 13. So lawmakers in Congress are finally taking a serious look at this. I'm telling you, it's about time. Number 3, what about that other app the kids use? What's the name of that? What's the name of it? Yes, TikTok. The Journal is now going after TikTok. And there's a For You algorithm. I'm sure you've seen if you're on TikTok. They created dozens of fake accounts pretending to be people between the ages of 13 and 15. The bots were turned loose on TikTok's For You feed, and they quickly found content just mindless, one after another, sex and drugs, sex and drugs, sex and drugs. Now, the Wall Street Journal, they point all this out to TikTok, and many of those videos have hence been removed, but there's a lot that you can do as a parent. I mean, you just don't have to like throw your kids out there and say, all right, have a great time. If you need anything, I'm here on the couch. We've got a lot of parental tips over at the website. Number 4, this scam is spreading you need to know about. Maybe one day you're on Instagram and you're just swiping through all the photos when you see an ad and it says, lucky you, you have won $750 in a giveaway through Venmo. And you're like, wow, it's my lucky day. Well, okay, if you tap on it, you're taken to a site that says you need to provide some personal information. Red flag. Pay a fee that involves wiring money. Yes. Or you can pay in gift cards. Another red flag. Not just on Instagram, they're also coming through text messages. So there's no way to stop the majority of these scams. So the moral of the story is, don't trust any ads or messages from any company that you don't recognize. It's trying to give you something for free. Nothing is for free in this world. And let me tell you about a book that teaches you all the best ways to scam people. It can be yours for just 3 easy payments of $19.95. And finally, number 5, your dog can make more money than you do. That's right. Pet influencers are becoming a huge trend online in places like Singapore, they say, where pet ownership and online shopping have continued to rise during the pandemic. And if it's happening over there, it's going to happen over here, if not already. Influencers such as, and they are adorable, I saw their picture, 2 white terriers. They have 25,000 Instagram followers and endorsements covering everything from shoes to vacuum cleaners. The doggy duo is represented by an agent, yes, the Woof Agency. I'm making that up. A little on the nose, but it has about 6,000 pet social media profiles on its network. Now, according to the site, because I checked it out, the agency provides everything from influencer marketing to social media management and branded content. And they can't all be money makers, though. I mean, these dogs have to want to be stars. I mean, unlike there was one Dalmatian that would always just hide from the camera. And what would happen? This Dalmatian would just bolt right around the corner. He just didn't want to be spotted. I know. They do get better, I promise. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. And just a couple of things I need to tell you about here at the top of the show, that if you ever have a question for me, I love to get your email. And I know you like to give me your questions on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter and everything goes on. The best place for you to send me your questions so that I can help you out is going to our website. That's Komando.com. And then when you're there, there's a button on the top right-hand page of the homepage, that says Email Kim. You click that, and I'm the only one that reads your emails. And speaking of the website, we have all these fantastic newsletters. And there's one newsletter in particular that if you haven't checked out yet, you really should. It's thecurrentnewsletter.com. It's tech news that you can use, delivered twice a week. Almost 100,000 people are getting it. What are you waiting for? Head over to thecurrentnewsletter.com. And coming up in just a few moments, we're going to talk about a super easy way that you can report potholes and down trees and other nuances in your neighborhood. And how about we start this hour with Larry in Des Moines, Iowa. Hello there, Larry.
Hello, Kim.
Welcome.
Kim, thank you. You have a great show, Kim. I like your newsletters and all the information you provide for everyone. But, Kim, most of all, I like your jokes.
Finally, yes. I have to tell you what.
I do like them.
I have to tell you, I wrote one for Brand New or Not True. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. But Brand New or Not True, that's in the next hour. And I have to tell you, I wrote it and I cracked myself up even. I mean, I was laughing so hard. And then a friend of mine, Nicole, was there. And she looks at me, she goes, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "Here, read this." And then she busted up. She goes, "Did you just come up with that?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know where." So anyway, that's in the next hour. And thank you for your kind words. So what's going on?
Okay, I live in a 32-unit condo, and we've always had free Wi-Fi. Well, they upgraded our Wi-Fi, and we've always all had our own separate passwords before. So they upgraded our Wi-Fi by installing radios. They call them radios. I guess they're just kind of extenders.
Yeah.
But now we're all on the same password, and I say that's not safe. I need some arguments from you to argue to them against this. They say it's safe. They say if they separate into 32 passwords, it's going to slow it down. Is that true?
Well, what they have set up is basically a wireless network that's similar to anything that you see at Starbucks or at the airport or anything like that. I think that by giving everybody the same password, especially with 32 people, you have 32 levels of acumen, right? And if I were a building owner and I had 32 customers. And Mary changes her password, and now she doesn't remember it. And Bob doesn't know if it's an upper or lower case. You know what you see where I'm going. This is just going to be a complete utter nightmare. And so, so in order for them to provide access, I mean, having different passwords, I can't imagine that it would have anything to do with slowing them down, other than it would be a complete nightmare to manage, right? But there's probably no way around that. But if you want to live in that, a couple of options is that you could get your own ISP, and you could run your own modem and your own router. If you can't do that, then you should be using a VPN, of course, right?
I am using a VPN. Does that help in this situation?
Yes, it will help.
I do use ExpressVPN.
Yeah, and you know what? Isn't that just so easy? I always talk about how easy to use, and I'm like, you just click like two things, and you're connected. I once owned a condo in a place in Hawaii. I just sold it recently, and it was kind of the same thing. Is that they provided free Wi-Fi for everybody in the building, and the free Wi-Fi was just that. It was free. It wasn't great. And so it was definitely on the 2.4. It wasn't on the 5 gigahertz. And so I needed to run faster because I would be doing not shows, but the daily tech updates and stuff and podcasts. Mm-hmm. But it also was a concern to me that, anybody could put a packet sniffer, and that's what they're called, a packet sniffer on the network conceptually, and then be able to see anything that anybody is doing. And it's, you don't have to go, Larry, to the dark web in order to find these packet sniffers. I mean, they're readily available anywhere on the internet. You just have to type in Wi-Fi packet sniffer. And then what that does is it allows anybody to capture any keystrokes along the way. So you're right to be concerned, because who knows who's living in condo number 28, right?
Or they give it to their grandkids or their relatives, and it gets out farther and wider, the password, and half the town has it pretty soon.
Well, somebody's sitting outside on the curb getting free Wi-Fi, Yeah. But it's a subject of the times, and if they, like I said, it would be a complete utter nightmare to do that. I mean, like I mentioned, you could get your own ISP. You could connect a separate router and wireless and run the traffic over that, but that gets really complicated. So I think the easiest solution in your case is just to, if you don't want to pay, $50, $60 a month or whatever it might be, and you don't want to use a Wi-Fi hotspot because maybe you don't get the best, you don't get the best reception there. It's just, like you're doing, you're a smart guy, Larry. Just run everything through the VPN, and then once you do that, you should be fine. And again, thank you for your kind words about my jokes. For all of you who send me emails, we have Larry who loves them. All right, Google search. I don't know if you've noticed, but maybe on the top of your Google search screen, especially if you're on a desktop, you may see something that says, hey, would you like to enable dark mode? And you're like, what is that? Dark mode turns the background dark and the text white. It's a growing trend on all kinds of devices. Google has had it for a long time in its apps, but now it's on its desktop, as I mentioned. It covers the home page, search results, settings, and more. And you just head over to google.com on your desktop, or you can go ahead and click on settings in the lower right-hand corner. And at the bottom, it says dark theme. Click on that, you can enable it, and then save it. We've got a lot more about Google's new dark theme, including instructions on putting it on your apps over on the website, Komando.com, of course. And, I know it's not for everyone, but there's a reason why dark mode is the choice for web developers and programmers everywhere. The light just attracts just too many bugs. Coming up in just a few moments, 12 things you should never do online. We have Lane in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hello there, Lane.
How are you doing?
Great. What's going on? How can I help you, sir?
Well, I have a problem like a lot of other people in the country and the world using Autodesk AutoCAD software.
I thought you were going to be talking about like global warming and world poverty.
No.
Okay.
A lot of us older craftsmen, we started out with pencils, and now we've gone to computers. And I have an older version of AutoCAD mechanical. Mm-hmm. Autodesk decided if you have a version older than 2010, they will not give you an activation code that you have to put in to be able to use it. So if your hard drive fails and you have to replace the hard drive, you have to load everything again, they won't give it to you. And in a couple of years, they're going to change it from 2016 and older.
Yeah, you think, what it is that, that's 10 years. That's a long time for a program to actually be around.
But it still works fine.
Yeah, but there may be some security issues. I mean, I don't know. I'm not familiar with everything that, the nuances and what it is. But like there's some older programs that, matter of fact, Jeremy and I, our IT genius was talking about this morning. Like there's an older audio program called Samplitude. And, it works fine, but there are so many better programs at this point. So your question is that are you wondering, Lane, how you can get around that?
Well, I don't think there is any way around it. But the problem is it was $2,500 years ago, and now it's $47.95.
Wow.
And they only give it to you, but you can only use it for 3 years, and you got to buy it again.
All
or
right.
you pay $220 a month.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? That's crazy. Have you ever used or heard of a program called SketchUp? Have you tried that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, SketchUp is fabulous. And it will import AutoCAD programs. SketchUp is free, by the way. It's from Google. And the reason why I'm familiar with it and why I checked it out is that about 5 years ago, I embarked upon this journey designing and building my own house. Now, of course, I'm not an architect. I don't want to be an architect, and I don't play an architect on the internet. So my architect, who's pretty renowned, actually uses SketchUp. And it's not just for buildings and, widgets or, anything that you can do in AutoCAD, you can pretty much do with SketchUp. And it allows you to import and export AutoCAD files. So you might want to check that out.
Sounds good to me.
And then
I sure don't have $4,700.
Well, that's a lot of money. But, they're looking at the professional people. And that's where everything's going, by the way. Software, it's called SaaS, in case you ever see that, Lane. It's software as a service, because the days are now gone when, you'd actually be able to get a piece of software. Oh, I don't know if you remember. Let's go back even further. Is that there used to be like software stores. You remember those? Is that you'd go to the store and you'd look at the box of software and you'd be like, wow, this is great. And there was a manual on the inside and a disc or 2 or 3 or 5 or anything like that. Well, now it's like you just go to a website and then you download the software and put it in your computer, and then it's updated automatically, because that's where everything's going. So give SketchUp a try. You spell it just like in Google search, just like it's spelled. It's SketchUp. It's one word. And Lane, let me know how that works out for you. I'd like to know. Let's go ahead and do our weekly security tip. This week is brought to you by Total AV. Get this, $4.2 billion. That's how much money Americans lost last year to internet crimes. That's according to the FBI. Now, a good chunk of that was through phishing scams, data breaches, and identity theft. Now, phishing scams, you've seen them. They involve malicious links pretending to be from someone who you trust. Maybe it's your bank, maybe it's your family member, your mom, it's a close friend. Now, you might think that, I'm smart enough to spot all those. All it takes is just one mistake, and then you've lost it all. Now, having security in place to detect these malicious links and stop them before you're compromised is something that you just can't afford to skimp on. And that's where Total AV comes in. They have something called the Safe Site Browser Extension. It detects and blocks these dangerous sites automatically. So you always know you're entering your private data at the right site. Now, their award-winning antivirus security suite offers complete protection. It has built-in adware, ransomware, malware protection. You can protect up to 5 devices on one account. And you can do this on Windows, Mac OS, iOS, Android devices. And those 5 devices, right now you can get an annual plan for only $19, but you have to go to this special address, protectwithkim.com. That's 85% off the regular price. Don't be trusting your life to that free antivirus software. I know you're doing it. Don't do it. This is $19 an annual plan, 5 devices, protectwithkim.com. Once again, protectwithkim.com. All right, we have 12 things that you should never do online. Okay, number 1, don't give the correct answers when you're setting up your security questions, because probably somebody in your life knows all of that, and then they'll be able to hack your account. You don't want to click on any download buttons if there's an ad and it says click here, or they say, oh, you need to update your job or whatever it is. We want you to be careful of fake posts. 2-factor authentication, okay, that's great. But what about a 2-factor authentication authenticator app? And you can use that to protect your online accounts and also your cell phone number. We've got all the information about that. Don't reuse your passwords. There's that. Don't fight on social media. Don't post sensitive photos online. We're going to tell you how to change your settings on Facebook, Google. What about vacation photos, updates when you're gone? That's a good way to get ripped off. Oh, stop being your own doctor online. Of course, you're always going to end up with the dengue fever. And don't drunk shop online. Yes, they showed that 79% of anybody who's having a drink has made at least one purchase online. Yeah. I've been guilty. What about quizzes online? Those on Facebook that says, so what kind of alter animal are you? Don't do that. We've got links to all these. Share them out with your family members and friends over at Komando.com. That's Komando.com. And there's a link that says Kim Show. Stay right where you are. Still to come this hour. If you get a document from a stranger, I don't want you to open it. I'm going to tell you why here on the Kim Komando Show. All right. I know you're getting the show. And this is fabulous, and I love that. But if you're out getting your steps and you need something else to listen to, I want you to head to wherever you get your podcast, whether that's Apple, Google, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, Stitcher, TuneIn. And I want you to subscribe and follow to me, Kim Komando. We have different podcasts. One's Kim Komando Explains. It's a combination of once a week, I do explain one thing, and then there's also our really great show called Tech Refresh that you don't want to miss. This week in Kim Komando Explains how the government and companies are buying all of our personal data. I turned to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and they revealed a lot of secrets. You really want to check this out. It's under Kim Komando Explains. Of course, you're going to search with a K because you are a smart one. Phil in Hartford, Connecticut. Hi, Phil.
Yes, hi. How you doing there, Kim? Glad to hear from you. Follow your tips every time I get it in my email, and I've been doing that for over 10 years. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. So what's going on? Obviously, I missed one tip because you're calling me.
I'm sorry about that, Kim.
That's okay.
Kim, here's the situation. I got a recording studio downstairs.
Excellent.
And sometimes I want to come upstairs and go out to my patio and play my guitar with my laptop, looking for instructional videos. Well, when I'm on my desktop in my recording studio, I see a couple of YouTube videos that I like, so I save them on Google Favorites. Now, when I go out to my back patio upstairs and I get on my laptop, it's not saved. How come they're not synced if I have the same account?
Because at some point in your life, you were not kind to a small child or a puppy. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. You're like, wait, you're sitting there thinking like, oh, what was it? What did I do? Okay.
What the heck did I do?
What did I do? How does she know? How does she know when I don't know? Okay.
And you know something, Kim? Then I have to go all the way back downstairs.
I know.
Get a memory stick, put it into my desktop.
No, we're going to make that stop. We're going to make that stop already, okay? Life's too short for doing all that. And you've got guitar tunes to play.
Amen.
What you're doing is, what you want to do is enable something called sign in to sync. You want to log into the browser, so you're going to sync it so wherever you log in, you see all of your information. And so if you're using Google Chrome or Firefox, you're going to log into your account, and then you can sync between different browsers, okay?
Okay.
It's not terribly difficult to set up, but you being an entertainer is that, if I sit here on the air and I say, hey, what we need to do, Phil, is turn on your computer, open Chrome, go to the right, select profile, and sign into your, nobody's going to listen, right?
Correct.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to post them over at Komando.com, and it's free for everybody if you go to Komando.com/community. That's Komando.com/community. On the left-hand side, there's a link that says the Q&A forum, and if you click that link that says QA forum, that's where we post things. Normally, it's on the Monday afterwards, where you can start syncing up your Firefox and Chrome so that this way you no longer have to take a memory stick and go from place to place. Oh, those days are long gone. Phil, I'm so glad that you called. And speaking of the community, just a quick reminder, everybody gets 30 days free to check it out. You can also get the podcast and the webcast, and you can use the community, the interactive chat, all kinds of fun stuff like that for free for 30 days. We offer also discounts for military because we love you guys and gals, service personnel, policemen, firemen, and also seniors. And it's over at getkim.com. Coming right back, we're going to talk about what happens if you get a document from a stranger, what you should do with it here on the Kim Komando Show. Okay, are you still using Internet Explorer? Oh, if you are, I'm just going to come to your house. I'm going to slap your knuckles with a ruler, okay? There are all kinds of reasons why this is just a terrible, terrible idea. The most important is that, well, Microsoft is not issuing any more security updates for this, and it's really vulnerable to hackers. But if you intend to use and you want to keep using IE, I know you're out there, watch out for any email that crosses your inbox with a Microsoft Office document attached, because that's how hackers are taking advantage of this situation to hijack computers remotely. They had a whole bunch of updates, by the way, Microsoft, this past Patch Tuesday. So it's a good idea to make sure that your Windows system totally up to date and get a new browser. Yes, go on the Edge, Microsoft Edge. We've got more information about this over at Komando.com. Look for the link that says Kim Show near the top of the homepage and stay right where you are. We have another jam-packed, fun-filled hour, the show you don't want to miss here on the Westar Multimedia Network. Hey, thanks for watching a past episode of my national radio show. That's why it's called The Kim Komando Show Rewind. Now, to get the entire show, all 3 hours, when it airs live, or you can get on demand, head over to getkim.com and you can become a member of the Komando community. There are a ton of perks aside from just the show. You get free ebooks, a place to get answers to your tech questions, and more of me. So come on, what are you waiting for? Click that link right now and become a member. And thank you.